Rock on.
All right. So, good morning,
Good morning,
Bridgewater State
Bridgewater
University. Yeah, welcome to Bridgewater State University Common Sport Podcast. I am Jocelyn. Every single time I listen to hockey news, the more 2011 feels more like a fever dream and less like a fleeting memory. Freeman.
And I'm Tanner. I put more agenda into the podcast agenda than at least did in the first round of the playoffs.
And we are here with a very, very special guest. It's one that Tanner and I are both very big fans of hailing from some Yinzer basement in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A man who embodies all three of the killer bees of the 2010 Steelers. A man with a body like Big Ben Roethlisberger, an abrasive personality like Antonio Brown, and a tendency to give zero shits like Le'Veon Bell. Please welcome UrinatingTree.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good. Glad to have you on here.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me on, man.
Very, very pleased to have you on in here. So,
yeah, we got a whirlwind of news for you today, including a brawl at the Derp camp, as well as free agency, NBA, and a whole bunch of other things. But let's help ourselves right into the pigskin.
We picked a really good day to do this, considering how much news there is.
Oh yeah. Let's not forget the Colts. Both two of their better players going down with the same injured for 5 to 12 weeks. I love that injury timeline estimate too, because they don't really know what's really going on. It's not anything like, oh, it's only a couple months. It's 5 to 12 weeks.
Very oddly specific.
Like quarterback, like guard.
Yep. Welcome back.
It's like getting something from the government here. It's like, oh, you'll get it in 5 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Welcome back to the glue factory, I guess.
Paying for the sins of fucking Andrew Luck.
They really did just injured their franchise quarterback, only to draft another franchise quarterback, injure him to hell, and then get another quarterback that they hope to be their franchise, and then he gets injured.
Yep. Well, Carson Wentz, he's had a lot of hard luck in his career, and apparently that injury has happened since high school.
Ouch.
So it must have popped out during a practice, which I'm saying is, what is up with that practice field that the Colts play on?
Or does this
due to the tears of Angel Luck and his curse?
Does this also have is this also possibly connected to his pretty poor footwork and as a when passing?
I think if you look at Wentz's stuff during his timeline, he was trying way too hard to impress. But
yeah,
at the same time, but I mean, last year was really rough for Carson, especially if you looked at some of his stuff. I blame the Eagles and Doug Peterson for that. And, I've seen some Eagles fans gloating that they didn't lose the trade to the Colts now, but you still have over $30 million in dead cap you have to deal with this year. So I'd say that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I
feel like there's some blame to be passed around to both the Eagles brass and to Carson Wentz, but I feel like Roseman is doing the Eagles absolutely no favors.
Oh, I don't know why Roseman's still there. I thought he should have been fired too. But apparently he has some damning photographs of Jeffrey Lurie. Probably, we'll assume maybe it's Epstein Island or maybe he's somewhere else like that. That's the only explanation I have that Howie Roseman still has a job, especially after overseeing 3 head coaches, including Andy Reid.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Does anything make sense in football nowadays?
No, nothing does.
I mean, considering the Seahawks just got themselves Sean Mannion and with Geno Smith, Danny Etling, and Alex McGough to back up Russell Wilson.
Etling was claimed a couple days ago off waivers by the Vikings.
Who?
Danny Etling was claimed by the Vikings.
Oh,
on waiver.
The Vikings are dealing with a COVID situation at quarterback, so I'm guessing it's used as a body. Mond and Cousins, I think, are temporarily out. I'm guessing they're vaccinated, but at the same time, I'm not sure.
If I'm not mistaken,
I think Kirk is, but I'm not always sure.
Actually, last I checked, Kirk. If I'm not mistaken, Kirk actually isn't vaccinated. And I remember,
just said, like, I know the Vikings apparently have one of the least vaccinated teams, but at the same time, I'm not sure about their status.
Yeah, because I know today the NFL announced that they're 90% vaccinated overall, but with this new variant going around, people are still susceptible to get it.
Well, it's also that the efficacy of the vaccine, it's going to be lessened at the same time. I mean, research came out from the CDC that says that the vaccinated can not only get infected, but spread it just as easily as the unvaccinated. It was a study out of Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that's just the nature of disease. Coronaviruses are prone to mutations.
Yeah. I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, they said that, while it makes you less likely to die from the COVID, it definitely doesn't make you less likely to get sick.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But
so in other news, we got the Packers trade, which they got Randall Cobb for a cheap 6th-round pick. And this is all to appease Aaron Rodgers, because he came up from his pissed-off state of the draft to now kind of a lesser pissed-off Aaron Rodgers, but still pissed.
Well, you have to consider it, too. I mean, Randall Cobb's still a pretty decent wideout. He wasn't doing anything in Houston, and they had excess goods. I think they'll do well with Cobb. I mean, they needed another wide receiver to go along with Lazard and Devontae Adams. I think they've got bigger issues to deal with, especially since Devontae Adams is probably gone at the end of the year, same as Aaron Rodgers. So this is pretty much their last chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they just did the restructuring of his contract that will pretty much see him leave after the 2022 season.
And they
so pretty much be gone if he just plays out the final 2 years.
Yeah.
And they better hope that if they play the Bucs again in the playoffs, that Stokes doesn't let Scotty Miller blow right past him.
That's why they drafted that corner in the first round.
Yep.
Yes, we study you, Jay. We study your content.
It's weird that we study the film.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I know Dak was having some injury issues at camp because of it was a shoulder strain or something. If I'm not mistaken, because I saw this via, I think it was Rappaport on Twitter about him being held out of camp due to a possible shoulder strain. Can that guy ever get any luck with the goddamn injuries?
Nope.
Versus the ankle, now it's the goddamn shoulder. What's next? He's gonna get his head taken off by freaking Vontaze Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Don't give him the don't give him ideas because it will happen.
Speaking of the Cowboys, the NFL preseason actually kicks off tomorrow with the game in Canton between the Cowboys and your beloved Steelers.
Yep. It's more or less just a formality than anything. I think with preseason, they're just getting the younger guys reps, especially Najee Harris, the new offensive line to get them to gel, a couple other things, but I'm not sure. It's not going to be anything crazy. Ben's not going to go out there and play 4 quarters. I don't know if he's even going to play, but
yeah, I feel like for a game like that, they'd probably put in Haskins or Rudolph.
Rudolph, Haskins, Dobbs, they'll have those guys rotate.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really weird to see Pittsburgh with a brand new offensive line.
But the question is, can that running game be effective with that offensive line now? That's the ultimate question. Because you bring in Najee Harris, you bring in a couple guys, you lose a couple guys. Now it's all about is that line going to be sustainable?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Like, I think that's the biggest issue, especially, that's my biggest concern, especially with an aging quarterback that can't really create separation like he used to. So it's probably going to be a lot of short passes again.
Thank fuck you restructured that contract alone. Thank you.
That's Steelers have this foolish idea of loyalty. I thought he should have retired, but what do I know?
Yeah, I feel like the Steelers really shot themselves in the foot by taking Freiermuth in the second round. And I like Pat Freiermuth, but in a draft that was that had a lot of offensive line and talent, and you choose a tight end in the second.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of picking a running back first. I thought they had bigger issues. I thought they would have gone with the center out of Alabama or like the tackle Tevin Jenkins.
I had you guys is taking Tevin Jenkins in the first, actually, in my mock.
Yeah,
I had Alex Leatherwood, but he got taken earlier.
I mean, hey, with that meme collection is going to be really handy in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Well, it's apparently 1,000 isn't too much, but I mean, hey, maybe he can add more memes to that collection.
Maybe Gruden can have a screw up with the mask again, and he can add a few of those to his collection.
I don't know. The Raiders are dealing with some issues. Their president resigned over the last month, but apparently Raiders fans are just dismissing it, saying that he was just transitioning the move to Vegas. A couple guys retired, but they were old and probably wouldn't have made the team. So a lot of grumblings going on Raiderland.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Anyway, well, the Jets locked up their future QB, Zach Wilson.
Maybe we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't have that much of a late start, but
I swear
I'm not sure who their backup is. I know Flacco's gone.
I know they just signed somebody today. What was his name? It was like Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
Josh
Johnson, yeah. But he's probably more a training camp body or a third stringer.
Right.
Yeah, that's to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the interesting thing with the Jets, I swear to God, if they turn Zach Wilson into a Sam Darnold, I will behead every single goddamn member of the Jets organization.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
I like Robert Saleh. I loved what he did in San Fran. Yeah. So
one could only pray to God that he doesn't, screw him up like Adam Gase did to Darnold.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
that's Adam Gase. He does that a lot.
Gase wasted both Darnold and he wasted Tannehill. So who knows? This is definitely going to be a transitional period for the Jets. It's as a Patriots fan, I hope more kicking themselves in the head.
Well, yeah, you can hope that Robert Saleh resigns on a paper napkin like a certain Bill Belichick did.
Yeah, that
also, that was coming.
That also would be good. I want Saleh to succeed, just anywhere else than the Jets.
A lot of predictions that I saw recently, they still had the Jets finishing last.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I guess we can talk about the Giants and their absolute freaking collapse at training camp.
Oh God! Basically, this pretty much started with freaking Kelvin Benjamin trashing Joe Judge after being cut.
I mean, he tried out for wide receiver. He should, and I mean, Booger McFarland was joking about how he was a Popeyes biscuit away from being a tight end. Why didn't he just eat the freaking Popeyes biscuit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he gained 3 pounds, so maybe he had a couple more Popeyes biscuits, even though they apparently wanted him to drop down to 245.
Better just get him or give him a fucking box of chicken or something. Just bolster the guy up, bulk him up.
Yeah. And the brawl that I forget who got cut from the Giants afterwards. But but apparently Joe Judge got pissed.
Oh yeah, he flipped the shit. It turned out like a high school thing where they were running suicides, where they were like doing push-ups, and he was just yelling at everybody. It's like high school thriller.
He was pissed. I think people describe it as never seen him that pissed or anyone that pissed. God, think about when you have all 53 men, 50 or 60 something men.
I'd be
brawling.
I'd be like 90.
Oh Jesus Christ, and that's even worse.
Yeah.
Imagine having every single one of them brawl, especially with Danny Jarvis at the bottom of the pile.
That couldn't have been
all fighting. Oh no!
Oh my God! You back what? These are 200 to 300 pound men, and they're all just piled up in one big friggin' brouhaha, and now all of a sudden it's I hate you, fuck yourself, suck a dick. It was so, and Joe Judge is okay, enough, and he lost his fucking lid. You want to fight during my camp? He's you want to fight during my camp? Well, then screw you. You're gonna run suicides and push-ups twice over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's I guess in other news, bring it over to your division in trade. We've got a few signings for the Ravens and the Browns. Ravens signing Justin Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I guess I'm still a little bit enamored by his 22 sack season. But how did they get away with Houston with only $4 million?
They only signed him for $4 million because he's early 30s. They think he's quote unquote washed, and it's more as a specialist. Same reason why the Steelers signed Melvin Ingram for that cheap, because he just wants a championship. I think Houston left more money on the table elsewhere, so it's you know what? I just want a chance to win a Super Bowl.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
I really feel like this is the Matt Judon replacement for the Ravens.
Yeah, a little bit. As I said, it's more of a pass rush specialist.
Yeah. And with
staying in the division, the Browns extending their running back Nick Chubb 3 years, 36.6, $20 million guaranteed.
That is a fantastic signing for the Browns. Nick Chubb is their offense.
Yeah. I mean,
Kareem Hunt making you scream 27 to fucking nothing in that one stream.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah.
I expected the Browns to win that game. It's just they played such shit. It was just infuriating.
To be fair, we have 11-0 and Corbett as our names.
Oh yeah, I saw 11-0.
But it's quite funny because my dad and I are both right. My dad and I both saw that you were streaming in live reactions, so we muted the TV because 1, we wanted to listen to you, and 2, we just can't stand Chris Collinsworth. And It was honestly quite possibly one of the most hilarious, one of the best times I've had listening to any game. Just hearing you lose your mind was just.
Well, it blew up for that reason. It's it's a Steelers.
I would have a screen recording. I have a screen recording on my phone of just the part where Kareem Hunt gets the touchdown, and you're you're just completely losing it.
Oh yeah, I still see it every now and again, just because it's just me losing my shit. I swear to God, I wasn't even I didn't have a drink before that moment. That was just legit. I didn't even know I had that in me. So,
everyone doesn't know. No one knows their own capabilities, but when they realize it, it's scary.
When you release the salt, that's when shitstorm
hits.
When PennDOT needs to salt the
needs to salt the roads. They unleash the salt. Oh, they have plenty of salt, especially after that day. It wasn't just me. There were a bunch of videos of just dudes breaking their TVs and flipping shit. And like I said, it was infuriating.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the running backs, the Saints are signing former Falcons running back Devontae Freeman on a 1-year deal.
Yep, probably a temporary fix. Devontae Freeman's nowhere near what he was. I mean, it's probably just more as a guy to spell their other two running backs. Maybe it's a training camp option, but all you're going to know Devontae Freeman for is missing the blocker who caused Matt Ryan to fumble and helped to foster 28-3. So
his entire career went downhill when he couldn't block Dante Hightower.
Well, the entire Falcons organization went down.
Yeah, and also we have can the Bakulas just sell both of their teams already?
Oh yeah, 1.5 billion in public taxpayer money. Taxpayer money.
Public, because God fucking forbid the man's worth about 5 or something billion or more, and he wants the public to pay for it. Basically saying, "Hey, Buffalo, fuck you."
Because that worked so well in San Diego, and with
San Diego tried that shit,
and with Jeffrey Loria trying to get people to pay for the Marlins.
Not even the Marlins, the Expos.
Oh right, the Expos.
Oh that, yeah.
He got people to pay for the Marlins.
It's not many.
And he's threatening. Pagula's threatening to move the team to Austin.
Well, one of the options. I mean, they can use that as leverage because there are a lot of teams that can that will want that public funding and want those the prestige of a sports team. I mean, let's be real. San Antonio would love a professional football team.
Oh yeah,
there'd be a couple other cities that would too. That it's a sort of a prestige thing.
I feel like Portland would also.
Oklahoma City would probably love a professional football team.
Yeah, there's a lot of cities like Birmingham.
Memphis has wanted a professional football team. I mean, I don't know if it's as hot as it used to be, but still, it's.
I mean, after the collapse of the AAF, I don't really know.
Any XFL.
Well, I'm talking old school, back in the.
Oh, was this with the Vikings possibly moving or something?
No, it was they wanted an expansion team, a couple moves. This was 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Before the Oilers moved.
Oh
yeah. And then the Oilers had that brief year in Memphis and
then the tornado went by Nissan Stadium and then the Titans thought, let's see, how can we help out our community? How about we go clear up some tornado damage? Hopefully that'll increase our reputations within the city.
Well, because they didn't give a shit about what happened in Nashville before.
I mean, they certainly did. It definitely helped garner the public interest, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Imagine they put a friggin' NFL team in Memphis and have that rivalry with Nashville, with Tennessee.
That would be, wow. That would be a lot of salt between the two.
That would be a lot of salt.
A lot of salt for that barbecue.
Steelers fans will be jealous.
But
what's it called? In other news as well, Vikings wide receiver Olabisi Johnson tearing his ACL and is probably out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, tearing an ACL, that'll do it, unfortunately.
That will do
it. I know ACL tears. I've never had one, but from from everything I've heard, I know that they are not fun at all.
Yep, I've had one. It's not fun. No, let's see. Like, imagine having nearly your leg, the bottom half of your leg amputated because the leg injury was that bad.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That sounds like big pain.
I mean, when we're talking about legs, Shadow Josinko basically revealed in an interview that basically saying how he used to take Viagra before his games, and he said, "How are you gonna stop me when I'm running on 3 legs every Sunday?"
Well, if you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, I mean, you got to see a doctor about that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
He, if I'm not mistaken, he's also said that like he'd be interesting. He'd be. I can't tell if this was a joke or him being for real, but he basically told the same. Look, I know. Look, you're without Michael Thomas until November, and I'm. And even though I'm 43, I'm still in better shape. I'm still in fantastic shape. Just give me a company car and a place to sleep, and I will gladly play for you guys.
I wonder what a Saints company car would look like, just like with the golden fleur-de-lis just all over it.
I think it would probably be like a golf cart.
I mean, only like the Aaron Rodgers one that the player got him.
That Bakhtiari got him. That was
a beautiful license plate.
David Bakhtiari's chemistry with Aaron Rodgers is quite possibly one of the most fun things I've seen in the NFL recently. Be it him buying a souped up golf cart or killing him in a courtside chug off at a Bucks game.
This guy's a freaking maniac.
Yep. Just as the SEC is for bringing in Texas and Oklahoma. God damn it! Why are they doing this?
Well, they're doing it for money. That's why they're doing it.
They're doing it for money.
They can get bigger television contracts, and there's
as well like the bigger rivalries.
It's trying to twist some arms.
It's like plus, like you got like the big rivalries there, like Alabama, Mississippi State, LSU, Georgia, Florida.
There's a rumor that Clemson and Florida State might be like getting wooed over by the SEC.
Can we please get UCF into the SEC as well?
They're not just the SEC standing for steal every championship. They're also the SEC for steal every college.
Well, there was a big thing, a wave of that, like in the early 2000s, because one, like, I think the Big Ten wanted to add teams, and then the ACC added teams, and then everyone else just like moved up. In particular, it's like, oh crap, we've got to figure out. That's why the Big East kind of died off.
Yeah. And I mean, to wrap up the football segment, we will have Mr. Tree predict the Steelers season in probably the most cringeworthy way possible.
Oh Lord.
Tree predictions. We all know that these go very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still say like 9-8 because I mean everyone can pretend that Mike Tomlin still is a he doesn't have a record under 500. So it's always that.
Yeah, because we know Tomlin, he's gotta be at or above 500. Because the Steelers don't fire, they retire, or their contracts conveniently expire.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Randy Fichtner's contract expired. That's why they didn't bring him back.
Yep.
So after a while, we're done with football. Into what is probably the most heart-stabbing hockey bit that we have since I joined the show.
Yeah. It was a joke early on when Tanner like first joined that like whenever we talked hockey, it was gonna go on for like 2 hours. Now this might actually
supersede that, if not just under it.
Oh yeah.
Well, Johnson, break out the goal horns.
Let's start off with the Atlantic Division with the Bruins. We have we have honestly a lot of departures that I'm very, very not happy about. I feel like I'm
Krejci
pissed that
especially.
we lost Krejci, which I mean I can't really get mad at him for that. Sometimes you gotta spend time with family. But
and like it's revealed where he's playing too in the Czech Republic. He signed a 1-year deal with HC Olomouc of the Czech Extraliga.
That might have been the team he played with when he was younger. I'm not sure though.
What's it called? No, I saw a tweet from somebody that says Krejci loves a cock on his chest, and that was translated from Czech.
So it's like a translation fuck up. Oh.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we do also have two honestly decent like second or third line in forwards going to freaking Toronto, and Kasha and Richie.
Thank you.
I still don't know why we extended a qualifying offer to Zach Senyshyn but left Richie on the table for anyone.
It's probably like cap situation. I mean, think about it. Like Boston, they wanted the money to like sign guys like Nick Foligno for too much money. Unfortunately, the terms okay. Guys like Thomas Nosek, Eric Kala, like shore up their bottom six, and hopefully they'll get some depth come playoff time. And Linus Ullmark.
What they need with defensemen too. Granted, they did get one of Derek Forbert.
Yeah, Forbert, like there are a lot of questions with him. Like I think he'll be okay on the bottom six, but you remember he came from Winnipeg, one of the worst like defenses in hockey. I mean, it's not as bad as say Tucker Pullman's contract, but
yeah.
And we also lost Jared Tenorti, who I always liked him as like a decent third pairing enforcer defenseman. And
because the New York Rangers, they're gonna build up that grit because they want Tom Wilson's blood.
Oh yeah. You have to remember too. Like I'm guessing that's why they signed Forbert too. They wanted that big physical defenseman to replace Kevin Miller
and Stephen Kampfer retired.
Yep.
Kampfer retired.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about his retirement.
And we also lost.
I always think of themselves a goalie too, like Linus Ullmark, but the
yeah,
thing
but
is,
we lost two.
Also coming from Buffalo, so like the question is like, how sustainable can it be on an actual contending team?
He had promise in Buffalo. He was one of their bright spots last year.
I still don't feel uncomfortable with why we traded Vladar. Vladar in his showing was okay, but definitely a semi-capable backup. We let him go and then left Halak to go with. I'm perfectly fine with. Tuukka's still a UFA to my knowledge.
Yeah, he's going through surgery. He'll be out until the winter. You have to remember, like, Swayman and Ullmark are going to be your two goalies. Vladar would have to go on waivers, so he'd probably get snagged up. So they're trying.
The Nona Bruins also signed Troy Grosnick from LA on a league minimum thing.
Yeah, AHL goalie.
They also let Sean Corrali walk to Columbus, who I always liked as like a decent fourth line center. Like he was always decent in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the kind of rate you're paying for like a bottom six forward, like $2.5 million for 4 years. Might be too much, but I mean it's a contract you can kind of like bury if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking that when they signed him, like you paid $2.5 million for in a year for 4 years for a guy who really didn't see much time outside of the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they're like a third or fourth liner.
Yeah, but let's flip it over to the Buffalo Sabres.
They're still undergoing. I mean, they're having issues with Jack Eichel. He's probably gone. So you can't really grade this until that happens.
apparently they're willing to retain up to 50% of the salary.
To entice a deal, plus
Hope to get a better return. But he's at rock bottom value. You're not going to get peak value because you don't know how healthy he's going to be, what kind of surgery.
Right. Plus, as well as I heard that if the Rangers want him, then the freaking sacrifice would have to be Kapokaka.
That's what I thought. I mean, you're going to have to give up Kako or Lafreniere to get that package even started.
Yeah, I feel
like you're probably looking at a first Keandre Miller, Capo Kako, maybe more.
I know that
I know Georgiev and Yedel were part of the talks as well. So the thing is, Yedel's a promising center that has a lot of upside too. But the thing is, Eichel can also fill that need because it's Jack fucking Eichel.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if I'm not mistaken, I remember LA was also in on talks, and people were saying like to get him, they need to give up Quentin Byfield, and I remember watching a bunch of Melody Martin and videos and how people were telling her like, no, we are not giving up Quentin Byfield for Jack Eichel, and I'm sitting here like you need to give up like a high level prospect like Byfield to even get that package started.
I think they're just more or less waiting on his value to drop even further. And I mean, it has. So.
Yeah, because with the neck and all that.
Yep.
Plus, the Kings prospect pool, too, is really good. Like, Rasmus Kupari and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Rasmus Kupari is a great prospect in the Kings system.
Yep.
Yeah. But,
my question to Buffalo is, okay, you lose Carter Hunt and Linus Ullmark. What do? You bring in Craig Anderson and Aaron Dell?
Yeah, they're trying to protect Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Like, he's not ready yet. So this is probably another tank year for them. Like, they're blowing it up. And I don't blame them for it because
Ristolainen gone, Reinhardt gone.
Middlestat, Yoki, and Dahlin are all RFAs. So, and who knows if they're gonna stay.
Well, I mean, maybe they might be trading one or two if they keep struggling.
I feel like they'd want to keep Dahlin. I feel like they can take or leave Middlestat and Yoki. They might want to hang on to.
Mm-hmm.
Yoki's like the one I can truly see them struggling on whether to keep him or get rid of him.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the question is like, what good is Mark Pysyk gonna do for the Sabres? What good is he gonna do?
I'm guessing just depth. Like, it's a body. That's all they're bringing those guys in for.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing with Hinostroza, or is that?
Yeah, it's probably a body too.
But
Yep. So we'll move ourselves over onto
Detroit, where the Y in Weiserman stands for why.
I mean, they had a good deal for Nedeljkovic.
They did.
Oh god, yeah. Steve really fleeced the shit out of them on that one.
I don't know what Carolina's thinking. They don't want to pay him, so they'll take a third-round pick on an expiring contract.
I don't.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, he want the free agency too, and I think he want him going to Jersey.
Yep, yeah. He went to Jersey. They brought in Carolina. We'll talk about that later, but
yeah, Carolina.
Detroit doesn't really need to do much because they're still building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like Detroit, like bring in guys like Sam Gagner, Calvin Pickard, Jordan Esselay, and Hugh Suter.
Yeah, Hugh Suter isn't bad.
Yeah, Suter is probably has the most upside out of anybody on that one. Pickard at most of backup to Nedeljkovic, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Bertuzzi, I can see that. I can see them using him as a decent replacement for Vrana if no one wants to.
Yeah, because Vrana filed for arbitration, so that's gonna have to be like a whole thing worked out with the league and all that. Yeah, but that is a good contract though for Tyler Bertuzzi. That is really good for him.
Yeah, I mean they didn't really have have much to lose, is because I mean they're in the middle of a much needed rebuild.
Yeah.
So
So it's
honestly,
not much.
for what they did, I'd say they did pretty well for themselves. So
So now we'll move on to
Florida Panthers.
They're gambling a lot on short-term gains or short-term sample sizes. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like Sam Bennett was brought in for like a big deal. Brendan Montour was brought in for a big deal. But they did get a good package in return for Sam Reinhart. They didn't have to give up too much. Devin Levy is a nice goaltending prospect, but they already have Spencer Knight. So,
yeah,
didn't really give up much.
That and they re-signed Sam Montembeau too.
Yeah.
They still lost Drieger, so in the expansion draft.
Then there's a whole thing of losing.
They weren't bringing back Drieger, unfortunately. So
yeah.
If anything, Drieger's gonna be like one of the better goalies in Seattle.
Probably.
Seattle has. I feel like Seattle is gonna have a lot of upside. And like they have potential, but I can't really see them having like a Vegas like first season.
Oh God, no.
But we're gonna. I think we'll get to them in due time. They signed a lot of centers and Maxim Mammon.
Yeah, they did lose Wenberg to Seattle. I know that.
Yeah,
yep.
They couldn't afford him.
It's like Florida has like the worst luck of losing players to expansion teams because what's it called? They had to trade away a player so that they wouldn't select a certain player.
They gave
actually what happened was they gave up Riley Smith so they would take Jonathan Marchessault.
And then Marchessault became one of the first best. That's
the problem. Marchessault was their best scorer that year. I still don't understand that.
God, yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you even protect him?
Well, they wanted to protect Alex Petrovic, and look how well that turned out.
Not great.
Now he's in Dallas.
And they also lost old man Yandel. Well,
they lost that one. But I mean, otherwise, like they signed like guys like Maxime Mammon, Yoho Lamico, and all that. Like,
well, they're older prospects, so they brought him back. Maybe they be something.
Yeah,
probably saw something that we didn't. As usual with
he's done well in the K, so they're probably thinking, oh, maybe he can be something like kind of like Dadonov was when he came back.
Yeah.
So speaking of Montreal,
we have the beloved. I honestly, I kind of wish the Bruins made a move on Savard, but
too much money.
Yeah, too much money.
Yeah, he's a really good defenseman too. That could provide a lot.
They weren't going to be able to afford him, so.
What's it called? They have like a lot. Like what's it called? They got Drouin from the Lightning. They just got Savard from the Lightning. They got Cedric Paquette from the Lightning. What is it? The Montreal Lightning now? All of a sudden,
they are
careful.
They are very, very salty about They are. It seems like they are very salty about losing in 5 to 18 million over the cup.
Already the Mayu pick, and I think the commission Bettman actually gave a statement on that one, and he said, and this is what he said on that one. He said, and I quote, "I was stunned. Surprise wouldn't begin to explain my reaction. I'm a dad of 2 daughters. What was done was horrific."
Well, he was very immature, and he literally told people, look, I fucked up. Don't draft me. So I'm expecting, like, okay, maybe somebody takes a flyer on him in the later rounds, but a first-round pick, that's ballsy. It's very ballsy.
Yeah, that is very ballsy indeed.
About as ballsy as spending your first pick in the draft on Mitchell Miller.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least that was a 4th rounder, but still.
That was a 4th rounder, but yeah. It would have been better not selecting him at all.
Oh, you'd be better off burning it in a fire.
Yeah.
Because he was done in a couple days.
Burning him in the fire stoked by Arizona Heat, or will it be Houston? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we'll see. They lose Deneau. So how do they compensate at center? Oh, I know. Bring in Mike Hoffman on a 3-year thing.
Oh yeah, that'll do well for your character issues.
Has he dumped his girlfriend yet?
I don't know.
I hope he has.
Please, for the love of God, because I mean, if I were in the position that Carlson was, I'd want to punch him in the face too.
Yeah. You don't make fun of someone's miscarriage.
Oh, a stillborn son? Fuck no.
That's something you just don't even cross the fucking line with.
Oh yeah, and you can thank that for Ottawa having absolutely no leverage in negotiations and had to give him away for nothing.
Yep.
But let's see, they also lose Corey Perry in free agency too to Tampa Bay, ironically enough.
And I mean they have a few intriguing free agents like Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Ryan Pelling.
Yeah, they have some players to sign, so.
Yeah, probably Eric Stahl too. And that's like another normal UFA for them.
And Gustav Olsson.
Yeah, Gustav Olsson too. He's more of a bottom pairing or 7th D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Ottawa sell the team Eugene.
Go away to Barbados.
Yeah, they haven't really done much.
Yeah, they just signed DJ Smith and Michael Dozado for whatever reason. And you really give him you gave freaking DJ Smith a 3rd-year option.
You lost Stepan for in free agency. You lost Dzingel. Kachuk and Philip Gustafson
Philip Gustafson is an RFA.
Yep.
So you need to get Kachuk or they're fucked.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I mean, honestly, it would be. I've said this before, but it would be funny to have the Kachuk brothers on the same team, so that this can quite possibly be the most pairings of brothers anyone has seen in any league.
Hell, we've already have fucking 5 of them already as is. 2 of them are in Chicago.
Yeah.
You got the Flores up in Seattle, the Jones and the Docks in Chicago, the Hughes, being more specifically Jack and Luke, and the McCars are in Colorado.
Yep. Werenski in Columbus too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Shit. So let's go on to the next one.
Tampa Bay, $18 million over the cup.
They got out of the cap, hell.
Kudos.
Seabrook suddenly becomes a valuable asset after never having to play again, which I find to be a bit of another loophole, but Arizona's been doing that for a long time. So Tyler Johnson, they finally got rid of his contract. Yanni Gourde was another contract. I mean, they'll miss him, but they needed to get rid of a big salary.
Yeah.
And they're able to do what they need. They signed Braden Point to a fantastic contract. I think.
They got out of cap hell. What's
as well as like getting Bogosian and bringing Brian Elliott too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So just depth Zach Bogosian as well.
Yeah, and plus they needed a backup because they lost both McElhaney and whatever the other guy's name was to free agency.
Yep.
Luke Shen?
Well, Shen Luke
Shen went to Vancouver, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
As well as like Andre's sister or something from the KHL. I think played for the Lightning before.
They also got Corey Perry, who I think is honestly pretty good as like bottom 6 depth.
Yeah.
But in terms of other signings, they had Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and Maxime Lagasse.
Lagasse, I think. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Everyone has
no one knows
15 different names. It's either Legacy, Lagasse, Lagas, or Lagasse. I don't know.
Not their
I don't even know. It's a man with 1,000 pronunciations for a last name.
But
So we'll go to my team, the Toronto Maple L's.
Yeah.
Yes, I did come up with that.
No, I'm the one who came up with that. You're the one who said
I had the Toronto Maple first round exits.
Both work, I guess, but
yeah. Let's see. Thank you for Kasha. Thank you for Richie.
Screw you for both of them.
I don't know if Kasha's going to play. I mean, those are more like decent low bet options. I mean, most of the time they have to fortify. Like, they're doing more smaller signings, which honestly makes sense. I was worried they were going to blow it up after
the only major
loss.
In terms of big signings, though, they got Peter Mrazek.
Mrazek is he's a very frustrating goalie. That's the thing. Like, he can make outstanding performances, and then you get Game 4 against Tampa Bay where he just shits the bed randomly. So
that's the same situation with Freddie in Game 7 against Boston.
I was about to say,
he'd always put up. Well, he'd be outstanding. Then he'd give up that one softie that just no sense.
Right.
Yep. Let's see. They bring in Hosting on the PTO. They get Michael Bunting on a hometown discount. David Kemp for whatever reason.
As I said, depth signings.
Yeah. I mean, you lost one of your better defensemen in Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
He's a winger.
But he was getting way overpaid, so he was gone regardless. I mean, if they didn't have one of the four, maybe they bring him back, but
yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it is a downgrade, but there was nothing they could have done.
Yeah, plus that cap situation, they only have 9.6 to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Edmonton needed someone to replace Adam Larson, and since he got picked up in the expansion.
Yeah. But though, isn't Hyman a winger though?
No, he's a defenseman if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's a winger.
Oh.
Yeah, so really, that just solidifies the first line thing with McDavid and Draisaitl, if anything.
I mean, I guess it's I don't know. I feel like it would be good depth for the. I feel like it'd be good second pairing. Good on the second pair, considering isn't Nuge on the first line?
Yeah.
Yep, Nuge.
Yeah, no, Nuge is second line.
Huh.
I think he's second line center, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, so
we can move out of the Atlantic, and we can probably do our most cringeworthy ass Hurricanes man impersonations possible.
Are you ready, Raleigh? We're buying in free agency like there's another goddamn hurricane warning.
We got Andy runs on Frederick Anderson to bloated ass contract. We also wanted Ian Cole for whatever fucking reason that there is in existence.
Who cares about this Dougie Hamilton guy? We can't pay him. Razik lets in everything, and so does Reimer.
Jordan Martinook on a contract for 3 more years. We need more. Mr. Svechnikov. This is so bad.
Yeah. Don't worry, it takes time. You gotta piece it together. That's why I try to do it in doses. It also destroys your voice after a bit. So
yeah, I'm starting to notice that this is sort of scratching.
That's why I said this is cringeworthy. I mean, really, you also sang Anthony D'Angelo, the guy who had his face punched in by, I think it was Kreider, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure. I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like.
From the stories that I've heard, it was after an overtime loss. And D'Angelo got into an altercation with, I think it was Georgiev. And then basically it got physical, and then Kreider had to step in and basically just punch him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are just malcontents.
Yeah, basically nowadays love New York. He doesn't even keep the Tony moniker. He just goes back to Anthony.
Derek Stepan getting that small contract. I feel like it's much better than the one he got. It's much better than the one he got in Arizona.
Yeah, but even then, Stepan is he's not what he was.
he's
fell
not
off.
He's not what he was, but at the same time, but I feel like this is sort of a low risk contract for them.
Oh yeah, and replace Dougie Hamilton with literal cancer. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, because
that's the reason why you brought in D'Angelo. It's because you needed a replacement for Dougie Hamilton. Cheap.
Yeah.
Plus he's a younger option to go with. So.
But I mean, Dougie was also gonna command way too much money, as we are gonna see with the Devils.
Oh boy, I can't wait for that one. But
I mean,
for now, let's just go on to the team that I spent $160 on because they fucking swept the Lightning.
Yep, the Columbus Blue Jackets, or as we're calling them, the Columbus Kivalnex crew.
Yeah.
That was
well, at
really
least you got that game in Bay River,
I guess, but I don't know. That was Gavin Bayreuther is kind of I mean, he's decent for what he is, but not much more than that.
Yeah. I mean, when you lose him in the expansion draft, and then you're like,
Yep.
It's basically like the old put a quarter in the vending machine with a string at the end of it trick.
Yeah.
They got a good return for Seth Jones, though.
They did.
Oh,
and that Zach Werenski contract, I feel was pretty good for them. Zach
Werenski is a very good defenseman with a lot of upside. But the question is, how long is it before he's traded too? Because Columbus is apparently shipping everything off.
Yeah. Well, they have to start over again, so.
Yeah.
Not much you can do about that.
It's like, get rid of Domi, get rid of Werenski, get rid of whatever you got.
You're not going to get much for Domi, though.
Yeah.
And get rid of everything does not mean sign Boone Jenner to 4 years, $15 million.
Yeah. I feel like Crowley needs that much money.
Losing
they might text you on a nice little team-friendly contract though, like 2 years at 3.05.
Yeah. But at the same, but like I feel like you're gonna see Columbus at the bottom of the barrel for like the next few years.
If it's not them, it's our next team.
Yep, the New Jersey
Beta playoff team. Okay, New Jersey actually had a pretty good offseason.
Big signing for Dougie Hamilton, so that actually is a smart signing for them.
Yeah, they get a decent goaltender in Jonathan Bernier.
I feel
he's weird though. Like he'll like fall apart and then have like a randomly strong season. So I don't know.
I feel I feel like he's really there just as insurance for Mackenzie Blackwood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a backup.
Yeah. But they didn't really do much. They didn't really do much, but what they did do is pretty good. They still need to. I feel like they still need to resign Kuokkanen though.
Yeah, that's really the only major piece left that they have to resign.
Yep.
Plus, like, hopefully they can get Luke Hughes on an entry level deal for the love of God.
Yeah.
Because that'd be a nice little showing with both Hughes brothers on the ice at the same time.
But I feel like we could flip over to Lou York for the Lou York Lamorellos, the Islanders. But
yeah, what's it called? Because I still have heard rumblings over the past few days in terms of like signings involving what's it called? Parise, Sajak, and even Cizikas. Like I've heard rumblings of that. Like Powell, I know is going to go to arbitration. What's it called? I think the reported thing for Cizikas that wasn't confirmed yet was 6 years at 2.5 per.
I mean, it's not terrible.
Could be worse.
I mean, it's sort of a Tanev contract. You bring him on for a decent amount of time with a little bit of money, and you hope he and you definitely hope he plays up to it, because you're probably being generous giving him that much for that long.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right. Damn right on that one. But they still have a lot to do. They got to resign like Sorokin, Beauvillier.
Palmieri.
Yep, Palmieri as well.
Yeah, I can't remember. They haven't really done much to sign people this year, this offseason, but which I feel like they probably should be trying to. I feel like they could try and make a better effort for that, because
yeah, it's like the thing is though too, like they're just coming off of the conference final run. I mean, yeah, granted they lost at 7, but like they still made a decent run in the playoffs. So I think their intention now is like to either try to keep the core or just add on a couple pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's all they can do. The solid team. Oh, that was the Islanders going.
This is.
That's the Islanders.
That's still Islanders. There we go. There's
there we go. The
Rangers.
solid team going.
Gotta get gritty, man. Gritty. I think gritty should acquire gritty from the Flyers as well to emphasize the ways to beat Tom Wilson.
Yep.
That's the only reason why these moves are made, man.
You know,
I have a feeling this is going to be a very interesting rivalry, to say the least, with those two teams.
I mean, if they really wanted to kick Wilson's ass, they would have kept D'Angelo
no, they would have made they would have made Tom Wilson a goaltender, and then he would have whipped on him. So
very, very fair.
Yeah, that's fair game on that one. That was actually good. It's like if they want him depth, why not just go get Max Domi? He can fight. He's like his father. He fights.
Well, I mean, he's not gritty enough though.
Tenorti is gritty, and Tenorti is great. He's good for he's good as like a bottom pairing, and he's definitely gonna Boston is very Boston should be happy that they re-signed Trent Frederick, because if they didn't, then the Rangers definitely would have taken Frederick.
Oh, absolutely.
With how much grit they're trying to bring up, there's no way that they wouldn't have kept Dolan from saying, sign Trent Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And plus, that Yedel contract is looking nice too.
Yedel contracts.
Nice little bridge deal. Let's see how he does. Nice little bridge.
Yep.
All right, so let's go over to the next team, the Philadelphia Grinnings.
For
some reason we have to include Brady the mascot in this.
I feel like that the annual contract I feel is pretty safe. If 1 year less than $1 million.
Yeah, because he's not as young as he used to be. He's more like mid-30s now. He's probably in the twilight of his career. Probably going to try to get at least something out of it.
Right. This isn't the Yandel you were paying big bucks like everyone in 2016, like everyone was for everyone, and this is older. This is much older Yandel, and I feel like this is a decent signing for them.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe one. Nate Thompson too.
Yep.
He could actually be a pretty solid bottom 6 center or something for the Flyers, but plus, I think it still stings for Flyers fans with that trade of the draft to get Voracek for Atkinson.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit I still feel like the Kraken should have tried to should have taken Voracek, but at the same time, that was quite a big contract that they would have had to conscript him for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's fair.
And really, the last thing an expansion team really wants to do is strap themselves right up against the cap ceiling.
Yeah, especially so early on.
Yeah. Losing Carter Hart.
Well, he's still an RFA, so but they gotta re-sign him because that's their guy.
Oh, yeah. They'll take care of that.
They'll take care of that, but at the same time, it'll be funny to see. I don't know why, but to me, it'll just be funny to see Philly's goaltending collapse like it does all the freaking time.
Well, I'm sure for Tree it'd be joyous.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we are
at the Pittsburgh Wildfires.
Mm-hmm. They haven't really done much. I thought they'd panic for a goaltender, but they haven't yet. So.
Yeah. Plus, Fleury isn't happening because he's going to be playing for Chicago.
Yeah, I expect. I mean, everyone was clamoring. I wanted nothing to do with Marc-Andre Fleury just because I've seen this happen before. It's not good.
I mean, you see.
I saw all the horrors that happened when he was like in meme form, and it's like I don't want that again.
Yeah.
No, because I heard like a few days, like not long after the trade with Vegas and Chicago happened, that Fleury said that he would honestly prefer a trade back to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh said they would take Fleury at their old terms. But I guess now Fleury's is gonna suck it up and just play for the Blackhawks this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I feel. I mean, you lost Cody Ceci, so I guess addition by subtraction.
We'll get to that one in a minute.
Yep.
God, that was bad. Like, plus, like you brought guys back. You brought in Brock again
on that contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've really been like a third liner at best.
Yeah, I feel like
what's Hextall doing?
That was quite the overpayment for them.
It's like, seriously, what the fuck is Ron Hextall doing?
Well, he's being conservative. That's what he did in Philadelphia. So.
Yeah, but you gave like Jerry McCann for pretty much next to nothing.
Yeah, well, they decided, hey, instead of losing one player for nothing, let's lose two players for nothing. I mean, we can go saying like Tanev Light in Brock McGinn. So
yeah.
I mean, honestly, who would you rather have just keep around and would you rather keep around Hextall or would you rather have JR back?
I'd rather have Hextall. JR is it's not good.
The game's passed him by.
Oh, it passed him by a long time ago.
Yeah.
Passed him by about 3 states ago.
Rival from what's better than bringing in a former goalie from your rival team as a GM?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I hope you're ready for mouth-watering steamed caps.
We got to order steamed caps here for a Mr. Urinating Tree. And somebody orders steamed caps by the name of Urinating Tree.
Oh, Lord.
They really just didn't get much, just more depth, it seems.
Losing Raffle, I feel like that was an important part of the depth that they should have tried to keep around.
Not in Chara.
They should try and get Samsonov back, but
yeah, they'll figure it out though, because Samsonov's gonna die.
What was that, Jake?
They'll do it. They'll get Samsonov back.
Yeah.
Plus, like
they got Vanacek back. They'll get Samsonov back.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, it's like their goaltending depth is gonna be pretty much Samsonov and Vanacek.
Which honestly, I was honestly a little bit surprised to see Seattle give Vanacek back, but then they took Grubauer, which we'll get into later, and I was like, this kind of makes sense.
Yep. So we'll move on. We'll get out of the
Metro and go to
conference, and let's go to the Central Division, and then we go to the next victim of the Houston Succubus, otherwise known as the Arizona Coyotes.
They're just acquiring second-round picks. That's all they're doing. They're tanking because their upside is fringe playoff contender.
Yeah. Plus trading OEL and Garland for all the shitty contracts, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Why take on one shitty contract in OEL when you can take on several, like Louis Eriksson?
Well, they also got out of. I mean, those contracts expire in a year, though. That's why they did it. They can get out of them with no sweat. They can just bury them. But OEL was one of the worst contracts in hockey. That's why they did it.
Yeah, plus I think Garland got a nice little extension out of that too, with Vancouver.
But I mean, I feel like betting in that trade, even though still ended up getting freaking fleeced because who did Arizona take with that first round pick they traded and them? Dylan Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
So
like literally, and 9th overall, the third best prospect in the draft. We're gonna take him. And then it doesn't help. It also helps if they draft Shane Doan's son in the second round.
Yep.
Yeah, he's apparently a decent prospect though. So.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't help, however, that they lost Ronta, Goligoski, and Demers.
Yeah, at least they got the Zingle to kind of take care of that center issue, I guess.
I mean, where is Dzingel gonna? If Dzingel gonna play up with Kessel, that's gonna be.
No, that's Dvorak. Well, that's definitely Nick Christian Dvorak. That is small.
I feel like if Houston wants to actually tank they need to do the right thing and trade Kessel.
Yep, that sounds about right.
If they can find a candidate for him.
Yeah,
Berg bridges with like a lot of teams at this point, so where else can he go?
I mean, he's a decent offensive product, but that's all he is. He's good on offense, and then he's just not good at anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll move ourselves on to the Chicago name redacted because apparently political
chocolate chips and keto
out of in 2021.
Yeah. The Blackhawks once again didn't really. They did two things and they lost just a few pieces. But
yeah, Nylander didn't need to sign, but Kampf and Suter were just gone at that point. I mean, the only real notable sign that they had really was Jake McCabe and Jujhar Khaira.
Yeah,
but McCabe wouldn't be too bad. Chicago, I don't know why. Their rebuild apparently only lasted a year, and now they're good.
So yeah, they rebuild my ass. Like now it's just contention mode. Yep. We got the Jones brothers. We got the Doc brothers. We got Jonathan Taves coming back. We got Marc-Andre Fleury, for God's sake, for a no name that's still going to be playing with us despite Vegas owning their contract.
What if somehow the Chicago also ends up with both Nylanders?
Oh dear fucking Christ!
We're just doing the hypothetical what if brothers.
Yep, that's what this is. The fucking hypothetical what if.
And speaking of brothers, let's go to
the Colorado. Yeah, I mean, just recently adding Ryan Murray wouldn't be a bad help.
That's a good signing. I mean, Murray is a great defenseman. He just can't stay healthy. So
Yeah.
Yeah, not much money. It's low risk.
Tyson Jost, I feel like, also was a good signing.
Yeah, Chelsea's not bad either.
Although losing Grubauer definitely hurt. Although there was
Brandon Side. I mean, Brandon Side's like, when was the last time he was really any decent?
Well, Saab was gone regardless.
Yeah,
We'll get to
it was a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit funny seeing Grubauer's contract be rejected, and they realized, oh, let's just move 250,000 in from year 3 to year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a thing now.
But I feel like Grubauer's going to be a good goalie for Seattle.
Oh, absolutely. But now, who do they really got for goaltending in Colorado? I know they got Francouz still.
Francouz, yeah. Well, he's been injured for a while. I don't know if he's going to be full strength when he comes back. I mean, they had no choice but to go after Kemper after they lost Grubauer. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. They got Darcy Kemper, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I really fucking forgot about that. I'll just read off that trade quickly. I just have to scroll down so goddamn far in the notes.
Yeah, we
we have about like 24 pages of notes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, like Kemper with $1 million obtained by the Yotes for a Timmins, a first, and a third, with the third being a conditional one in which Kemper must win 50% of his playoff games with the Avalanche, and they must win the cup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
did they win that core? That's the question. Because they nearly lost Landeskog. Nearly. Like they dodged the bullet with that one, but
yeah, they I feel like Colorado's gonna be the. I feel like Colorado's gonna be the team to beat in this division.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like their only real competition, I feel like, is Dallas when everybody is healthy, and like
Dallas,
potentially Minnesota if Kaprizov comes back. But yeah,
that's really tough to say.
Speaking of Dallas,
yep. So how fitting is it that a player from Minnesota relocates to Dallas, much like the team itself? Like the North Stars to Dallas.
Yep.
Now you got Suter from Minnesota to Dallas.
You put all that. It really is just like the North Stars. You invest all that money in keeping them in that where hockey grew up in the States, and then boom for more because they got a sweet deal. They moved to Dallas.
Mm-hmm. They also have Braden Holtby, so that might be Ben Bishop. They'll probably try and trade off Dobin. That's my guess.
They're really stacking up on goalies.
Oh yeah,
that's why we have them listed as the Dallas goalies.
Yep.
Bring in Petrovic too. I mean, who would he really replace, Alexiak or Vatanen? Because Vatanen's gone, Alexiak's gone. Who's Petrovic really replace?
I don't know. Oh, really? Because
let's say for namesake, like Suter replaces Alexiak. So that really would just mean like Petrovic will just replace Vatanen.
Yeah. Like they need someone who can play top pairing minutes to go with Heiskanen, and I feel like they their decision on that was Suter. But with Petrovic, yeah, I can really only I don't really see him getting top pairing minutes. But as a replacement for Vatanen.
Yeah. So now we move on to the Minnesota Wildfires. Because God knows they're panicking over the Kaprizov situation right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They got to be panicking now.
Well, that's why they bought out Suter and Parise, not only to protect Matt Dumba, so they had the money to sign Kaprizov. If he goes back to Russia, they are insta-fucked, and Bill Guerin needs to be fired immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jocelyn is just forever pissed off about that because it was a Bruins 5th-round pick that they traded, which turned into Kaprizov.
Yeah, 2015 was not a good draft year.
Yeah, when you could have had Shabbat, Connor, and Aho, and all those guys.
Konechny.
You take freaking Zenishin, Zaboral, and DeBrusk. DeBrusk is panned out. Zaboral, he's getting there. But Zenishin,
I honestly feel like we could have traded all 3 first-round picks to move up into, at the very least, the top 5.
You think a team would be willing to take all three picks in a row for that? Well, probably yeah, because all the processing again that rebuild.
Right. Like, if you can't tell me that there is not an alternate universe in which Buffalo doesn't trade the 2nd-round pick for picks 14, 15, 16. What was it? 13, 14, 15. I forget.
13, 14, 15.
Yeah. With that much first-round capital in a draft class like 2015, and I feel like there is definitely a universe in which the Bruins trade up and get Eichel, but we're getting a bit off track. But I do kind of like this Dmitry Kulikov contract. And I feel I can't tell if him or Goligoski is going to be the guy to replace Suter.
I think it would be more so Kulikov because Kulikov is a more notable name than Goligoski is.
Yeah, probably. And then Frederick Gaudreau.
He's a decent 4th liner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Losing, he would probably be the replacement for Benino.
Yeah. He did all right in 4th line minutes for the Pens last year. So.
Yeah.
But
so now we're going to the city of country music, Nashville. Okay, so you lose Pekka Rinne. So you don't. So naturally, you pick up David Riddick.
They needed something.
They definitely needed something to replace the guy who was always too good right now.
Plus, Ryan Ellis is gone too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Victor Arvidsson as well.
To which we got the fantastic troll of the racer, Ryan Ellis.
That was honestly. I didn't know about that until Tanner told me, and it was freaking hilarious. But
and then they got Leroy on his ELC, so that's going to be really helpful for them.
Mikael Granlund, and that is a steep contract.
Yeah. Was a guy who was he like a 2nd liner? That's probably gonna have to go 1st line minutes now because I think what's his name is gone. I don't know.
Duchesne?
Oh, yeah. No, Duchesne's still there.
Duchesne's still there. Right?
Well, so they do lose Halla, which was what, a 3rd line center?
Yeah.
They lose Halla. They lose Erica Branson. I mean, Branson wasn't really much for them anyway, so I was like, we could have lost it there.
I mean,
They bring in Matt Tennyson, which, okay.
Yeah, honestly, maybe it's just it's the fact that there was so much that Gabranson was like a really high pick, and I mean, and he had always been okay, but I don't know. I felt like he was always better than he actually was.
Yeah, I feel like he could have been a little more better, but that's what age does, yeah.
Yep.
So now we'll move on to the St. Louis Blues.
When you get old, you start singing the blues.
There we go.
Tarasenko, I mean, they're probably trading him because they brought in a couple guys. They brought in Saad, and
Saad with a little bit of a steep contract.
Yeah, but that's Saad and Buchnevich. So like,
yeah, Buchnevich.
I don't know how you like make that all add up with Tarasenko.
And they extended Cairo too. So
yep.
Yeah. I feel the Blues are in a very interesting spot, and by interesting, I mean in free fall.
Losing Schwartz to Seattle as well, like that'll do it.
I wonder how this is going to affect O'Reilly. I feel.
I think he'll be okay.
I mean, hey, at least it's not at Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus as well as losing Vince Dunn to Seattle because that'll weaken your defense a little bit.
Yeah.
But who can they really replace Vince Dunn with?
Probably someone from within. That's my guess.
Yeah. I don't really know too much about the Blues prospects right now, but but I feel like they might be able to replace Vince Dunn from within.
Yeah. So we'll move on to Winnipeg, the last team in the century. All they really did was just sign Riley Nash. In terms of like
Paul Stastny too.
Stastny, they got extended. Was it like 3.75 if I'm not mistaken?
And Nate Schmidt for a third. So
right.
Yeah, that's right. Nate Schmidt in the third round pick for the third. Yep, that too. And Brendan Dillon for the 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh wait, we also forgot about the trade between the Leafs and the Wild a little bit.
Yeah.
Brennan Manel.
The 7th for Brennan Merrill. No, Brennan Manel.
Yeah. It's like an AHL guy.
Yeah, but watch. No one knows.
I knew somebody like flipped out over like not signing Manel, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah. He's probably going to get like a cup of coffee at the NHL level with that.
Yeah. Really, it's like, no one believes they'll put him on the fucking third defensive pairing because apparently Dubas knows exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean how many cocaine snorts he does.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So we'll move on to our final division here. We got the Pacific. And we'll start with the Mickey Mouse organization.
They haven't really done anything. They brought back Getzlaf, but that's really about it.
All it was is Getzlaf.
And Brogan Rafferty. That's
probably an AHL or best.
Yeah, that's an AHL guy.
Yeah. I feel.
So we'll get moving on quickly then, because really Anaheim is just nothing. So you got Calgary.
Blake Coleman. And they lost Giordano, so it's not really an overhaul. It's more of a tweak, but they need an overhaul. So
yeah, Giordano was the starting push for it. I mean, it stings because he was your captain for a while. Plus, he's been there for like what, 15 years or so. 15.
Oh yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Now that like the captain's gone, so you know who is going to be the next Flames captain too? Because they get to ask themselves that.
Probably Monahan or Kachuk.
Yeah, I could see.
I don't know if Gaudreau is going to be a captain. Chris Tanev, but he hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah.
Imagine Chris Tanev as a fucking captain. That'd be something.
Yeah.
Why can't we just go back to the old days where we can name goaltenders freaking captains? I just freaking name what's his name? Markstrom as a captain.
Mm.
If
Yeah.
Wonga can do it, why can't anybody else?
I don't know. But just as I don't know why Edmonton decided to spend 4 years, $13 million on Cody Ceci. What are you doing?
Cody Ceci was good in sheltered minutes, but oh dear God, Edmonton's had a rough. I mean, it's not even the worst contract. They brought in Duncan Keith. They traded assets. They keep his entire salary. Yet Suter and Yandel were available days later. Zach Hyman, $5.5 million per year for 7 years. Like that contract's doesn't have the potential to get ugly at all. That's great.
As well as Derek Ryan. Well, Derek Ryan is much more of a safer
yeah, he's
signing.
a bottom 6 guy you can bury. So
yeah, plus he's from Calgary, so I'll bet you Edmonton manager will try to fuck him up.
But that's that's sort of just cutting off your nose to spite your face, I guess.
Yeah, I bet you like I wonder what one of his managers is doing after that sweep at Winnipeg.
They are. I'm pretty sure McDavid and Draisaitl are just seething and wondering why the hell and wondering I put so much effort into this team for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I made a comment on a YouTube video put by Sportsnet on the overtime winner by Ehlers at Game 3, and I said if you listen closely to the commentator's voice when he says Ehlers and holds it up for so long, it sounds like the Habs goal horn. Seriously, I go back and watch it and tell me I'm wrong. Same thing with Kyle Connor with the series winner in OT. Same thing.
And I mean, it's always fun. Sportsnet streams are fun, especially when it's Dangle getting quietly saying, "Oh no!" right before Game 6.
Leafs not gonna Leafs that dude. And then they had to try and pivot and pretend they were fans of Montreal. That had to sting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a Leafs fan because I was born in the city of Toronto, but even I can laugh at my own team for their fucking failures in the past and everything.
Yeah.
Even though it kills me inside, but. So we'll go on to the Kings.
Yes.
We're just doing our most tree-esque free agency video, I swear to God.
Philip Deneau wasn't too bad.
No, Deneau was a really good signing.
Bring back Edward for that contract was
yeah. Like they got Victor Arvidsson from Nashville. They bring in Philip Deneau. Alex Edward. I mean, I guess you could bring in Alex Edward for 3.5 for 1 year, but
I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's a bit. I feel like it's a bit of a overpayment a little bit, but Edward, I feel like he could definitely play up to that contract.
Definitely.
And Andreas Athanasiou. Thank you for pronouncing.
I mean, he could be all right, like in a bottom six setting, but like not much more than that.
What is it? I want to know what it is with teams paying over $2.5 million a year for bottom six players this offseason.
Cap.
I guess.
Because of the dead cap at 81.5, it's not a lot to work with because the pandemic fucked it up.
Yep.
Maybe once, because now we're getting everything opened back up and everything, the salary cap's just gonna go up from there.
Yeah. And
we're going to the San Jose versus Kane. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Yeah, so this is a very disgusting fucking situation by Kane. Basically, his wife came out and accused her husband of abandoning her and her child to vacation in Europe while the bank, repossessed their house. And basically also accusing Kane of betting on his own fucking games, to which the NHL is investigating. It's like, let's get one thing straight here. Like, Kane's a fucking idiot.
I mean, it is what it is. He's had so many chances. I mean, worst comes to worst, his contract's voided. If not, then, yeah.
Yeah, because I know a lot of his teammates want him gone.
Yeah. Wow. I'm not surprised that a player who is seen in as like a massive asshole off the ice is wanted out of San Jose by his teammates.
Yeah. But in terms of their signings, I mean, Reimer's not a bad signing to replace Martin Jones. That one's
right.
All right. That one's all right. Because they needed a goalie, and Jones was absolute dog shit.
Right.
I mean, Nick Bonino is all right for a depth center at best, but same thing with Cogliano on the left side. I mean, it's like he's calling the San Jose Ducks now. Quack, quack.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they're if they get rid of Kane. It's gonna be interesting to see what they end up doing.
Just received some breaking news on the Twitter sphere. The Los Angeles Dodgers are going to be signing Cole Hamels to a guaranteed $1 million contract. Even though Cole Hamels isn't what it was, it's something.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
So
we'll have to talk more about that one when we get to baseball, but shit, boys. All right, so let's go on to the new boys in town.
Watch drumming tutorials without.
Yep.
And advertisements.
Yeah.
What's our goal one sound like?
Well, I am honestly not surprised at all that that not only a goal horn in the NHL, but a goal horn for a team that's not that's name is based off of a mythical aquatic creature sounds like a boat.
Well, it's actually, I think it's based off of like the Seattle Ferries.
Oh.
So that's why they have that horn.
Oh, that would actually make sense then. Let's see. They got Wenberg. They got Jaden Schwartz. Two good pieces they got. And Grubauer, wait, his contract needs to be restructured.
Which they did.
Yep, in which they did.
I feel the Kraken this year. I've already said they're going to be good. Probably not Vegas level, fantastic, but they're going to be. They're going to be at least decent.
At best, maybe like fifth in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Was it? I had some people saying it was like third in the. They would be finishing third in the Pacific.
Well, I mean, Edmonton's going to be. Edmonton is probably going to be good in the regular season as they usually are.
Yeah, and probably get swept in the first round like they did.
Yep. The Ducks, Kings, and Sharks you can probably cross out, and then the Canucks.
Kings you could make an argument for like wild card, like second wild card, but that's
it. Vegas is definitely gonna give them a run for their money, and you know for a fact that they're gonna push that rivalry between the two new expansion teams so hard.
That and the Puget Sound rivalry too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But
we'll move on. Well, speaking of the Puget Sound, let's go from one side of the Puget Bay over to the other.
Yep. With the
Vancouver Grinnings.
Yep.
again, the Garland extension is all right.
But like, they still have to pay Quinn Hughes and Peterson. So
yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
God.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, because like when can we expect an offer sheet for both? Can't talk today. For both, when can we expect an offer sheet for either or those guys?
They really made a lot of. They made a lot of like short-term deals. The Canucks.
Yeah, like Luke Shen, Nick Patan, Justin Dowling,
Halak.
Hammett, Sutter.
Well, you have to remember their deals. Like they admitted, 2020, their free agency class was a total failure. They bought out Virtanen, although he's having issues of his own. They bought out Braden Holtby, and they traded Nate Schmidt for a third. So
yeah,
I don't know why the fuck Jim Benning's still there. He should have been fired.
Yeah, and they traded the 9th overall pick for what is the same?
OEL.
OEL and Connor Garland.
Yeah, because God fucking forbid that works. And also, I mean, it kind of also helps with their rebuild that they signed Danila Klimovich to the entry-level deal. It's a second-round pick in this year's draft.
Yep. But
really, we've been kind of quiet. So we'll just move on to the final team we gotta talk about for free agency, and that would be Vegas.
Yep.
Get your business online.
Which
how the fuck Fleury off Raw?
Yep. Goodbye, Fleury. I mean, at least we brought in Brassard to kind of be the backup to Robin Lehner.
Brassard's a pretty good goalie, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah, it's like really 2 years at 4.65.
My thing is like, okay, I get why they did it. They needed the cap space, but let him know beforehand. Don't let him find out on Twitter. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, that's a shitty thing.
Matthias Janmark.
Janmark was their big acquisition, so I mean they got him on the cheap, so that's not bad for their depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, why would you trade Fleury for a contract of a guy that's still going to be playing for the Chicago minor league system?
Well, it's a cap dump. That's why they did it. So like, Chicago was willing to eat Fleury's entire salary cap or cap hit, so that's why they just traded a body to make sure it worked. That's the only reason why they did it.
Yeah.
And then he nearly retired and then decided, you know what, I'm only 8 games away from winning 500 games. I'm just going to play it.
It's it feels a lot like it definitely feels a lot like definitely a bit of a like I don't want to play for this team so much that I'd rather retire, or like what Gronk did when the Pats tried to trade him to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, we saw some other trades that we really didn't mention in the free agency thing. First off, the Zadorov trade, which really was just for Toronto's third round pick.
Cap. It's for cap.
Yep.
But I don't understand this one. Even there for Warren Fogle, and then you give Warren Fogle a 3-year extension at 8.25.
No, the funny part is they traded Ethan Bear so they could sign Cody Ceci. There's your funny part.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I think that's gonna be a mistake.
Oh, it's already a mistake. Don't worry about that.
Welcome to.
This is not your problem anymore, Trey. You don't have him in Pittsburgh anymore.
Well, he was okay in sheltered minutes, but there was no way I'm paying him a 4-year deal. I would have brought him back for 1, not 3.5 or 4. Fuck that. I'm not paying him top 4 money.
Yeah, right. I really wouldn't blame you on that front. And then the Knights decided to, pick up Dadonov too for Holden in Vancouver's third.
Honestly, I'm sort of mixed on in this one because I feel like Dadonov's always okay, but I don't know. I feel like this was just a bit of an overpayment. I feel like they could have gotten away with just the 3rd round pick, but I don't know.
I mean, I mean, I guess the Sens need to dump some sort of cap, but because I guess I could really use that to re-sign Brady Tkachuk and Phil Gustafson.
And
mean,
and I mean, hey, the Knights traded the Knights. It's got Grit and traded away Grit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's this Ryan Reeves trade because God knows the Rangers really want Grit a lot.
Yep, because we want blood, damn you.
Oh yeah.
Dolan is Dolan
I
is.
thought that should have been a suspension.
I honestly would love to. I honestly would love to see Dolan just stack the Knicks with a bunch of players who have pissy attitudes and want to fight because he's so pissed off about the Tom Wilson thing that it transcends hockey and goes into other sports.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, it's not a bad extension though for Rays at 1.75.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse, but it's not a bad contract.
Right.
He's more like a situation. He's more like a Sean Thornton, if anything.
I guess, yeah.
And then there's like
the Sharks and Coyotes
trade
trade.
stuff.
Yep.
Oh god.
I was gonna talk about the Sharks and Coyotes trade.
That's just like a minor trade. It's like
Aiden
the
Hill.
Arthur Ritzel Lane Peterson for a fourth.
Yeah.
To which Peterson himself got a contract.
Yeah, a fourth in 2024. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's always fun whenever they trade picks like several years in advance. And
Oh yeah. I'm sure you can actually find something for like whatever cost nowadays.
Will Buckner getting traded to the Sabres for future consideration.
That's definitely
Okay.
That's definitely a like a salary dump maneuver for Jersey. Like Buffalo just needs bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
And really, the last trade we have is
the Mitchell Stevens one for where he's going to Detroit for a 6th rounder. He's more like an AHL caliber talent.
I mean, getting a 6th round pick for AHL sounds about right.
Yeah. But I know there's some players going to arbitration. The notable names, I'll just read them off quickly. Vrana, Fiala, Pellick, Sanheim, Dunn, and Pionk.
Yeah, they are. I'd want to see the Bruins try and make a move for Vrana, but they have like $1 million in.
It's like just a little over $1 million left in cap space, so it's like.
Right, they're gonna need to dump some bodies to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, John Tortorella has a new job.
ESPN.
Yeah, sports as a studio analyst.
As long as he rips the media again, I think he'll be absolutely fine.
John Tortorella pretty much became what he sought to destroy.
Right. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You know it.
Damn right. And I think that's really it for hockey because we actually got by that. Wow.
Wow, that was.
Which actually went through about 11 pages or so, maybe more.
Yeah.
So we'll go over to basketball now after so long on the ice.
Yep. Let's hope that our legs still work. Because
yeah, I will say though for the NBA draft though, I really did love what the NBA did when it came to Terrence Clark. Like basically they were honoring Terrence Clark and like they brought his mother, his brother, and his sister on stage, and so the NBA family selects Terrence Clark.
Right.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really nice.
That was, yeah, I really like that.
I did too. And then there's that whole fucking Russell Westbrook trade. There's Westbrook is second in 2024 and is second in 2028 from the Wizards in exchange for Kuzma,
KCP,
Caldwell Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and this 22nd pick, which became Isaiah Jackson.
I feel the Lakers, I feel, are definitely becoming the retirement home of the NBA.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody likes the Lakers, so.
Yep.
Nobody likes. The only people who like the Lakers are Lakers fans. No one likes them.
Lakers fans don't even like that.
LeBron doesn't even like the Lakers. LeBron likes Hollywood. He doesn't like the Lakers.
No, LeBron likes Looney Tunes World. That's where all the money's at, in the Looney Tunes universe.
Yep. Save my son who got suspended in high school for smoking weed.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice little fucking resume you have on
you. We also got a few other
Salts trades from the Salts fan that's right next to me on the screen.
Yep. Tristan Thompson. I'm very happy to get him off the team because I made my frustrations with him very well known in the.
It's okay. He's being exiled to Sacramento. You'll never have to hear about him again.
Yeah, it's just salt the goddamn herb. And that was part of a three-way trade, by the way. It was Thompson going to the Kings, the Hawks getting point guard DeLong Wright, and the Celtics just getting Chris Dunn, Bruno Fernando, and a second rounder in 23.
And then the C's then traded one of the other pieces they got in the in that Kemba trade with the Thunder. They trade Moses Brown to the Mavericks for Josh Richardson. I don't really see what why they needed to make this trade. Why they needed to make a trade for Josh Richardson?
Because they probably like depth. That's probably why.
Oh, what's up? But
I mean, losing Semi Ojeleye it doesn't really help.
Yeah, we got a good list of signings actually. So for the first real signing that we have on our list, because we did by alphabetical order. Trae Young, fucking 5 years at $207 million. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, he earned it with his playoff, so.
Oh, absolutely.
And his
Trae is a fucking stud.
And his buddy John Collins also getting 5 years, but this time at $125 million. I feel like he also kind of earned that paycheck.
Yeah. Rick Plus, he was an RFA too, so I can't imagine what the RFA contract situation must be like for the NBA.
Right.
Well, I'm sure like all these RFA systems are like different than from each other. So.
Right.
Blake Griffin getting a new contract with the Nets.
1 year, two.
Gotta have all the stars on the Nets.
Yep. And
with the Bulls, as well as DeRozan with the signing trade last night.
It's gonna be interesting to see see how Chicago does in the future. I mean, in getting DeRozan definitely helps. I've never really liked Lonzo Ball, but I've always felt like he did okay. So this is gonna be interesting to see what they do. with Cleveland, they have Jared Allen signing for 5 years, $100 million.
$20 million for Jared Allen. So hey, get the money when you can, man.
Yep. He also got
next one down is Sterling Brown, 2 years, 6.2 with Dallas,
and Reggie Bullock and Tim Hardaway both signing with Dallas. Bullock getting 3 years, 30.5. Hardaway getting 4 years, 74. Dallas is gonna. Dallas, I feel like they have too much talent to be out of the playoffs when they are.
Yeah.
We have we have Luka playing out of his freaking mind in every single game, and he doesn't have too terrible of a supporting cast, and I can't remember if I've ever really seen the Mavs past the second round in the past few years.
Yeah. Well, in terms of other major signings, it's more like Kelly Olynyk to Detroit for 3 years, $37 million, which should be a good signing for Detroit, but again, they're Detroit, so it's probably not going to go far.
Right, and then we get to Golden State with the big prize Otto Porter Jr. signing for 1 year, $2.38 million. Let's go. But and also Steph Curry signed for 4 years supermax contract of $215 million, making him, if I'm not mistaken, the highest average annual value in NBA history. I mean,
I just did the thing on my calculator. The average annual value would be $53.75 million per season. Holy shit!
I mean, he kind of. I mean, for how good he is, he.
Don't get me wrong; he's a good player. Like, he's a great player by a stretch of imagination. But holy fuck! You might as well make fucking Lionel Messi jealous of that shit.
Yeah, and him and Clay, I feel like keeping him and Clay around I don't know. I feel like you keep them around because they're like the last big remaining pieces of those championship runs. But I feel like in the very near future, Golden State's gonna need to blow it up.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody's gonna feel bad for them. So
nobody's gonna feel bad for them, but it's something they gotta do. So, we got Daniel Tice signing with Houston for 4 years, $36 million. I still don't really understand why the Celtics traded him. Because I mean, Tice, he was always pretty good. I mean, the only knock I really had on him was that he had a bad tendency to rack up fouls pretty easily. So, but letting him walk, I feel like that was probably one of the worst things we could have done.
Yeah.
But we also have Nick Batum signing with the Clippers, 2 years, $6.3 million.
It's not getting $24 million per year. That's a bummer.
I was about to say, I can't really. I haven't really paid too much attention to Charlotte at all. So I can't really speak for how good Batum's done. And since you made that video,
he fell apart hard. Like, he had 3 years where he was okay, but still overpaid. But the last two, felt
right.
The last two, he just fell off, and then he got bought out the last one. It was bad.
Yeah,
and then
Okay, seriously, like, we'll just jump over some of the Lakers signings. We gotta go to fucking Carmelo Anthony, Kyle Lowry, and all that shit. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Seriously,
Lakers become the
Lakers. You have 30, you have 8 people over the age of 32. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I
Well,
understand.
they're a bunch of ring chasers. It's ring chasing.
Yep, that is 100% what's happening.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, might as well go rapid fire with these.
Yeah, but
because I know what's it called. I think I heard some rumblings of the Raptors trying to go for Damian Lillard, but like but what the hell would that package even look like?
You're probably looking at Siakam and Van Vliet or something like that.
It's got you can have to sacrifice one of those two and a couple draft picks as well.
I was about to say probably not even just Siakam and Van Vliet. You'd probably have to also package in a first or something as well. But
because that's a premium haul for a really good talent in Damian Lillard.
Miami gets back a few. It's 2 of their big pieces is Butler and Duncan Robinson, and back on nice hardy contracts for both of them. Duncan Robinson getting 5 years, $90 million. Butler getting 4 years on a max contract of $184. Lowry is part of a sign and trade, getting 3 years, $90 million.
If I'm not mistaken, he traded a couple players back to the Raptors, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the details of the sign and trade, but
yeah.
Also PJ Tucker getting set in by Miami for 2 years, $15 million, but it's a smaller contract.
Yeah. It's like another sign too, like Bobby Portis is good for the Bucks because he performed well in the finals, helped them get the ring. Towards Tom Grossi was drinking spotted cow and cheering on the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Long live communism.
No.
I'm not gonna I'm gonna try and refrain from all that shit because of I've sort of seen what's been happening on clickbait sports, and
I apparently last week got pretty rough. I wasn't there. I was on vacation, but still, it's
yeah, I saw you like you were in Baltimore or something.
Yeah, Baltimore and Ocean City.
Nice.
How was that? I mean,
it was nice.
Nice.
Good. Fournier going to the Knicks.
Knicks did a lot of
4 years, 78.
Knicks did a lot of signings. They got Alec Burns on 3 years, 30. Fournier they
at 3 years, 43.
Yeah, and then Kemba Walker got bought out of the rest of his contract for in OKC, and now he is. And as of I think like half an hour before we started recording, he signed with the Knicks.
Not bad. Kemba Walker. I mean, it's a depth signing, but maybe something happens there. We'll see.
Who knows? Maybe his knee gets back to full health. Probably not. But speaking of
once you get a knee injury, you never recover. Like basically, you still feel the effects of it, even like years down the line.
Right. Mm-hmm. But speaking of OKC, Shai, how do you pronounce?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to OKC on a 5-year max contract at $172 million.
That's
I don't know how I feel about it.
I feel like OKC's been spinning the tires since Durant left, since Durant and Westbrook left. So, I don't really know what they plan to accomplish with that, but
yeah, nobody knows.
You got other small signings like Robin Lopez is going to Orlando.
And then Audrey Drummond to the Phillies. No, it's the Sixers. Sorry, fucking thinking of baseball.
Philly is definitely gonna fall off hard. They're definitely gonna fall off hard. The team, the city has turned so hard against and stuff against Simmons, and I feel like they need to find someone who can take Embiid. Not Embiid, Simmons. There we go.
Well, they're looking for 4 first-round picks and a bunch of futures. There's no way somebody's trading.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, who the fuck's gonna hit that premium package for that? Jesus Christ.
The answer,
no.
the
Yeah,
answer
exactly.
is no one. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like wait till his value goes down and then try to get it for cheap.
I honestly wish the Celtics made a move for Drummond because I mean they need someone like Drummond, someone who they need a big man, but I don't know. I'm even if the Celtics aren't doing great, I can still laugh at the Sixers pretending they're this great start of a dynasty.
Just to process my ass. No, because the process said fuck you. I'm not gonna trust shit.
As they say, bust the process.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul coming back to Phoenix on 4 years, $120 million. This is a pretty good signing for Phoenix.
Send the deal, man.
And JaVale McGee. Yeah, JaVale McGee coming along on a year for 5. If I feel like that's definitely like a we got to get. We just need one more depth piece is to make it. And I feel like JaVale McGee is decent for what he a pretty decent player, so might as well make it him.
Yeah.
Norman Powell also getting a pretty nice extension in Portland, 5 years, 90 mil.
Because Norman Powell is a pretty decent player, so it's not a bad contract for him in that regard.
Right. I wonder. Honestly, with all the talk about Lillard, I wonder where this is going to leave Yusuf Nurkic. Because I can. I mean, he didn't have that great of a season in last year, but I mean, for what he is, he's doing. He's been pretty good for the Trailblazers. So if Dame leaves, if
Dame leaves, the Trailblazers are fucked. That's all you can say.
Yeah, and pretty much because that's a cornerstone right there is Damian Lillard.
Right. We got Sam Decker coming back to the NBA and signing with Toronto on a 1 year, just under $2 million in contract.
Low risk, because like he's come back from like 2 seasons overseas.
Yep. And Gary Trent signing with Toronto on 3 years, 54. Does he?
Could be worse in that regard, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be better, but it's not bad. It could be better, but it's not bad.
With Utah, I mean, this team. I feel like Utah is going to be the next team that can't make it past the second round of the playoffs.
Whatever. Utah does. They crumbled pretty hard.
Right. I feel. Zach Collins, Rudy Gay. I mean, Collins got himself a meaty contract in 3 years, 72, but
yeah,
I don't know.
As well as Rudy Gay getting a 2-year deal at 42.1 over player option.
Yeah, I feel like they need to win now before they ruin Donovan Mitchell. Before they ruin Donovan Mitchell and before they ruined Rudy Gobert, even though I feel like last year Rudy Gobert kind of ruined himself.
Yeah, in 2020, I think he was Defensive Player of the Year for shutting down all the leagues.
Yeah. And then our last signing we have right now is Spencer Dinwiddie.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
The eye to me honestly did look like an L, and now I feel like a dork. So Spencer Dinwiddie signing with Washington for 3 years, $60 million. I honestly feel bad for Bradley Beal because I don't know because
now what's it called? Freaking Russell's gone. So
Russell's gone. There's not and really there's not too much to be. I mean, they played out of their minds last year, but I feel like that was again them playing far above their potential.
Yeah, but might as well ask Tree because I don't think it's ever been made clear. Who is your favorite NBA team?
Me, I would say probably. I like the Raptors growing up as a kid, so I'm guessing.
My man.
I mean, I don't really have a favorite team. Like, I mean, if Pittsburgh got an NBA team, I don't think anybody in the city would really care for it. We've had so many basketball teams that have just flamed out in like a year or two. It's not a 4-sport city.
Because you got to deal with the drunken Pirates, you got to deal with the Yinzer Steelers
and the Penguins.
The Penguins.
And Jari's missing gloves. But
we're moving on over to the Diamond now because that was it for basketball.
Yep. Well, we got
trade deadline for the bench, it seems.
Yeah, we got a decently eventful trade deadline, in which we have a pretty decent pickup for the Sox. They get Kyle Schwarber for one of their better pitching prospects in Alder Ramirez. I mean, Garrett Richards definitely needs to be sent down to AAA. That dude is pretty garbage on the mound, and I would feel more comfortable with him down in AAA and having Huck get called back up. But I mean, with no one solidifying first base right now, this is a decent pickup for them. Because I mean he said that he feels that he's excited to learn how to play first base because God knows that Dalbec and Christian Arroyo aren't really doing it right now.
Yeah, well, Kyle Schwarber at first base. I mean, he's not good defensively though. So they were looking for Rizzo, and the Yankees one up them. So
yeah.
Speaking of Rizzo, Yankees getting Rizzo for outfielder Kevin Alcantara and pitcher Alexander Vizcaino. I'm saying that name wrong. I don't know.
That's and already with Rizzo coming into the Yankees and already doing fantastic. I'm just frustrated that the Sox didn't get him. But
you gotta feel for Cubs fans now. You really gotta feel for Cubs fans because they have to deal with all that shit.
Yeah, the Cubs really just shed everything this trade deadline. But
like the Nationals too, like trading Trey Turner and Max Scherzer in a package for 2 pitchers, an outfielder, and a catcher.
Yep, prospects.
Yeah.
Washington had to do it. They were just mediocre. So
yeah,
it's like, okay, we're done. We got a World Series. We're done. We're just gonna blow it the fuck up now.
Well, it's not even blow it the fuck up. I mean, they pulled the World Series out of their ass because they should seriously still give Josh Hader, Trent Grisham, and Dave Roberts World Series rings for that because that is the only reason they made it that far.
Yeah. Yep. We're going on all it. But hey, Houston's the second best deal that Houston made was not efficient, and it cost them that too. Washington beat them to it.
Yep. We also have some pretty sad news in that the manager for the Cleveland Guardians, Terry Francona, is stepping away for the rest of the season due to health issues with DeMarlo Hale taking over.
Mm-hmm. He's been dealing with those for a couple of years now, unfortunately. So this might be it for him.
Yeah, it's like now a thing where it's like how much longer can he really keep going because he's not as young as he used to be.
Which honestly is really sad because I remember him back in like 2007, 2008 with the Sox, and I mean, considering how well they did, and I always liked him, and I thought he was going to be great with us, and then they let him go and brought in Bobby Valentine, and I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, mistake hiring getting Valentine. Jesus Christ.
Yep, that's one year that
Never let that
Sox
man work as a manager again.
I probably wouldn't even let him work as a manager at Denny's.
Because he'd run that into the ground too.
Yep,
maybe.
But,
you'd be surprised.
Let's not give him ideas. The Mariners trading away Diego Castillo to the Rays for JT Shargoy. I can't tell if I'm pronouncing that right. And third baseman,
I don't know.
And third baseman Austin Shenton. Getting Castillo's a decent pickup for the.
He's a solid reliever, but I mean, I don't get why they traded Graveman unless they really like Abraham Toro. That's the only thing I have for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Castillo has more control. That's really about it.
Right.
So we'll move on. The Joey Gallo trade. Basically, Joey Gallo and Joey Rodriguez in cash considerations to the Yankees in exchange for Duran, Halver, Otto, and Smith.
Because we all know that the best way to supplement a power hitting team that struggles with batting average is by bringing in a power hitter that struggles with batting average.
Yep.
Well, Yankees fans will defend it because he's a lefty bat, which makes sense, but he fits the same profile as guys like Judge and Stanton. So I think it's a bit redundant, but I like the Rizzo trade better for the Yankees because it filled a legitimate need.
I like the Rizzo trade better for the Yankees, but I feel like the big difference between Gallo and Judge is that Judge is actually hitting above 270.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we have the Daniel Hudson in trade in which the Padres are getting pitcher Daniel Hudson from the Nationals for pitcher Mason Thompson and shortstop Jordy Barley. Because we know that any sort of shortstop prospect for the Padres was probably going to get drowned out by Tatis, even though Tatis might be going on in IL for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Bass has been dealing with injury issues left, right, and center, I swear.
Yep.
And the Brad Hand trade, my Blue Jays are getting pitcher Brad Hand for the Nationals again in exchange for Riley Adams.
I mean, it helps with your reliever core.
Yeah, because we do need pitchers. It's like, I mean, we also got like freaking what's his name, Barrios from the Twins in exchange for like 2 top 5 prospects, but Barrios did really good against Cleveland the other night.
Barrios is a solid pitcher, and you have him in control for another year, so that's probably why they did it.
Yeah, you traded Barrios for pitcher Simeon Woods Richardson and infielder Austin Martin.
Yeah, Martin's actually played in the MLB before. I know that, but
right. And
I feel this is gonna be. I hope it does good for the Blue Jays because I know he did really well in the other night against Cleveland, but it's only a matter of time before where it really goes.
right.
The Star Marte thing. Basically,
Which-
Athletic thing. Star Marte for pitcher Jesus Luzardo.
Which Tree? You saw Marte's last game as a Marlin.
As a Baltimore Oriole, yep.
Oh,
And we were sitting there like, just watch. I mean, this is one of the last games you'll see Marte as a Marlin. I mean, he's still pretty good. He's solid.
Let's go.
Right,
I remember I was at the at Brian Dozier's last game as a Twin a few years ago, where actually I got a baseball from him.
Nice.
oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's like, how much longer is it gonna be a Twin? And then the next day it's just like, gone.
Well, that was long.
Yeah, that lasted just as long as a cup of coffee.
But we also have the John Lester trade, in which the Cubs get outfielder Lane Thomas for sending John Lester to the Cardinals.
I mean, I don't know what the Cardinals are doing. They're just like getting older in pitching, and Lester and Happ have been terrible this year. So
Right.
Yeah.
I could not tell you.
I mean,
Cardinals are just being the Cardinals right now, doing Cardinal things.
seeing side-by-side comparison of Lester in like 2013 with the Sox and seeing him this year is like, what happened to you? I mean, age.
Well, he
but-
got old. That's what happened.
Yep. Wear and tear. That's what it does, yeah. And in the Pablo Sandoval trade, the Guardians get Pablo Sandoval in exchange for left fielder Eddie Rosario.
This is
The Panda, Pablo Sandoval.
I am as a part-time,
I'm surprised he's still in the bigs.
as
I
a
know.
part-time Braves fan. I am very, very happy about getting Eddie Rosario for this.
It's
The,
a body.
We get it.
That's
We
why.
get it. You have an obsession with Freddie Freeman Jocelyn. We get it.
Yeah. What? So we have a podcast fantasy league with 4 members, and one of the first trades that happened was I traded Manny Machado to Tanner for Freddie Freeman just because Freeman and I share the last name. But
I don't know if it was a mistake or a blessing, but I'll take for what it is, I guess.
I mean, Freeman's been good for me this year, especially since
Machado's been all right. I'll say that. Machado's been all right.
I mean,
Not the best, but he's been all right.
Freeman's been good, and I mean he's definitely been a bright spot on the Braves, and they kind of need bright spots since Acuna
Yeah, since
got
Acuna
his.
went down.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Yeah, and then the Craig Kimbrell trade, where the White Sox, actually an intercity trade this time, where the White Sox are getting Craig Kimbrell from the Cubs in exchange for Mick Madrigal and Corey Hunter.
They paid way too much. Madrigal is a huge like prospect for Chicago, and he's out for the year. That's probably why they were willing to trade him. But now you have a hole at second base. You're going to have to fill in free agency, which I'm guessing they'll do in the offseason. But still,
Right.
they paid way too much.
Out of somebody.
They paid one of the best prospects in the league just for a reliever who's got and that prospect's going to come back next year, and he's probably going to be really good.
Kimbrell has been very good this year, though, and he's also under contract next year. So
Right, Kimbrell is great. He's definitely playing better than he was at the beginning of his of that contract.
time in Chicago, easily.
Yeah.
Oh, God. There's a Chris Bryant trade now. The Giants are getting Chris Bryant in exchange for Alexander Canario and Caleb Killian.
I feel like
I swear, every single Cub that was traded this year, that's a batter, is in a home run in their first game.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I forget. I think the only one that doesn't really apply to is Kimbrell, but I mean he's a reliever, so.
Yeah.
But we also have the last trade we really had. The one of the last
What we
trades
have
we really
right
had.
now in terms of deadline day.
Yeah, is the
We'll
Javier
get to the other one
Baez,
in a little bit.
the Javier Baez trade, which
Yeah, Baez and Williams to the Mets in exchange for Pete Crow Armstrong.
Crow Armstrong is a strong prospect, and honestly, Chicago blew it up. And I mean, I don't blame them because all three were going to be free agents. They weren't bringing all of them back. I know that Bryant and the Cubs were having issues in terms of contract.
It appears that I have pushed the wrong button on my appears I pushed the wrong button on my screen. So give me 1 second.
that
There we
being
go.
okay.
Nope, I'm good.
Glad to have you
So
back.
yeah.
But
No, it was just my monitor being dumb.
of notable names that weren't traded but had their names tossed around, and this trade deadline we have Byron Buxton, in which I mean, dude's injury prone as hell.
But he's been excellent this year, though.
He's been He's been fantastic, but but as soon as he came back from that hamstring, he got hit in the hand, and then he's been out and he's coming back. I feel like, isn't he coming back soon?
Not sure.
I don't know. As well as another name's not traded, it's Luke Voigt.
Who's also been
Voigt. He's been having struggles.
Yeah, he's been having struggles both with injury and playing ability. And the last one is literally anybody that is currently on the Colorado Rockies.
I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I really don't.
They should have traded Trevor Story. They should have.
Well, the thing is, Trevor Story and Gray, they're gone. So
yeah,
I couldn't tell you what they're doing at all. Like they apparently got afraid that like they got people angry for Nolan Arenado, and now suddenly they get this like buyer's remorse or something, and they decide now's the best time to hold pat, even though you did completely the wrong thing, because they're all gone, and all you're getting out of those like two guys or Marquez at this point is just like like a compensatory pick in the 30s.
Yeah.
right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. So, Mr. Tree, we do a segment on here where we highlight our MLB players of the week, and basically we determine that based on like a player's performance and all that. So, my player of the week I have this week, the man who hit his first 3 career home runs in the same game, the catcher out of Chicago, Sebi Zavala.
Mm-hmm.
And for me,
I've been hearing the name. I didn't know who that was, but like I was looking him up when I was gathering footage for my next vid, and then I saw the name. I was like, interesting.
nice. For me, I'm going to go with the guy I picked last week again, Austin Riley, third baseman for the Atlanta Braves. He's just been on a complete tear the past few weeks. He's been hitting. I forget how he's hit like I want to say it's like 9 home runs in like the past 15 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he's been but
Yeah, on his hair, no less.
Yeah, he's been doing great. So I guess
who's your player of the week?
That's an interesting question. I'm gonna have to go with Joey Votto. He's been outstanding for the Reds. I mean, it may be a little late by that regard, but he's been mashing home runs left and right.
Yeah.
Damn right. That will make sense. So in other baseball news, actually, I want to get this other trade just real quick because this is stupidly funny. So if you remember a trade back in the olden days, like 80s, 90s, you may remember the $1 trade that sent Draper to the Red Wings. Well, now you have the Brewers getting John Axford from the Blue Jays for $1.
I'm surprised John Axford's still in baseball. I saw him pitch for the Pirates like a couple nights ago, and I'm like, I wonder if he's as much of a gas can as I remember him to be. He like pitched like 5 batters. He gave up a couple walks. He's currently on the IL with an elbow injury. So
Yep.
he got pulled.
He got injured the same day he got traded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Milwaukee had some issues with COVID, and they just needed a body.
Which
Yep.
that's
And now that body
affected.
is injured.
I mean, when you lose
traded him
Josh,
for the price of a any size soda at McDonald's.
I mean, when you lose Josh Hader to COVID, you really need that sort of sets alarm bells ringing.
Mhm.
Yeah, alarm bells are ringing on that.
But yeah, we got a lot of talk about pitchers, starting with Mr. Hector Santiago with the Seattle Mariners. Is the first player to be the first player this year to be suspended for foreign substances. Is now being suspended 80 for foreign substances, not on the ball but in his body for artificial for excess testosterone.
Good old PEDs.
Yep.
And
I
in
remember.
other news, Tampa Bay pitcher Tyler Glass now is undergoing Tommy John.
I remember I mean, what Tampa needs is for the Olympics to end and bring up Shane Boss just to really rub it in Pittsburgh's face how much they lost the Chris Archer
Oh,
trade.
don't remind me. I hated that trade from the beginning, so don't look at me.
But we also have the Mets. It's in their 10th overall pick this draft, Kumar Rocker, the man who I desperately wanted the Red Sox to take, and instead they took Marcelo Meyer. Kumar Rocker ends up failing to sign, and probably going back to school for
another year.
Which
well, I think he's doing independent ball for next year. So
Different. As well as the Red Sox 2nd round pick, Judd Fabian, failing to sign, and he is going back to Florida.
this was honestly frustrating to hear, because Fabian was supposed to be like one of the best prospects to trickle through the first round, and him failing to sign and going back to Florida. It's just if he continues developing like he's been doing, he's easily going to be like top 10 in pick at. He's going to be like mid first round pick at the very worst.
Yeah.
But for other pitcher news, we have Jacob deGrom's IL stint is being extended 2 weeks and is now sadly out of contention for the ERA crown.
that's yeah, he's out indefinitely.
And
As well as, why did you add the praying mantis thing?
because it was funny, okay? It's not every day that you get a praying mantis staying on your hat for a good while, and Victor Robles is a very lucky man to have that.
Well, I bet you he's praying for him to get the hell out of Washington.
Huh.
Maybe, who knows? But
And that's it for baseball, and we will turn it over to the Olympic Games.
which
Because God knows we need more of that right now.
yeah.
So we'll start off quickly with the current medal count. The People's Republic of China still in the lead in terms of gold medals with 32, but the United States still has a total medal count lead with 79.
Nice.
Very nice indeed. Right now, U.S. has 25 gold, 31 silver, and 23 bronze. The host country, Japan, is at 21 gold, 7 silver, 12 bronze, for a total of 40. And the next one up from really the U.S., other than China, is on the ROC with 14 gold, 21 silver, 18 bronze, for a total of 53.
But there's been quite a lot of talk about the U.S. gymnastics over the past like week and a half. So we have Suni Lee winning in gold for the U.S. It's a few days after Simone Biles drops out due to mental health reasons, which she has attributed to Japan's ban or heavy restrictions on ADHD on her ADHD.
I thought it was because she had the twisties, which is like an aerial vertigo, which that's not mental health. That's a legit injury.
That also could be. That's also a very big possibility. And
I know she mentioned something about that too, but I think it was more so of the mental health issues that she was suffering from.
I feel like it could be a big combination of the three. But I mean, she did come back and she placed bronze in women's balance beam.
Yep. As well as Team USA swimming athlete Katie Ledecky becoming the first female athlete to win gold in the 1,500 meter freestyle.
Yeah, but I think she's dominated like a bunch of medals. Ledecky's like, she's like the a Mark Spitz of women.
the Michael Phelps of
Michael
women.
Phelps, yep.
Yeah, Phelps, or what's his name?
Lance Armstrong without the steroids.
Well, that too, but
and with 0 balls instead of 1.
This one as well. This was a wholesome moment though. Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi and Qatar's Mutaz Essabashim shared gold in men's high jump, and this basically stemmed from like I guess they tied in a high jump, and they were given the option to continue and redo it just like a tiebreaker. But I think it was Essabashim that said, "How about we just both get gold?"
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Bashim was like, "Hey, you guys don't have 2 gold medals."
Yep.
Which was
very wholesome too. Like he fought out the other guy, and I guess he wanted him to get gold just as badly as he wanted it.
Yep.
That was wholesome
and
awesome.
The U.S. women's 3v3 basketball team actually won gold in their inaugural year.
Yeah, I know, because now we got 2 forms of basketball in the Olympics: regular basketball and 3v3.
Yep.
These Olympics have been strange, but I mean, this next one is like a little upsetting if you kind of want to put it that way.
Yep.
Belarusian sprinter Christine. I can't say the first name. Christine. I'm not even gonna sign it.
Christina
Simanovskaya is taken out of the Olympics by the Belarusian Olympic Committee after she spoke out online against her coaches, and now she is actually currently in Poland seeking asylum.
I'm not exactly.
Basically, this stems from her being one of the detainees in the Lukashenko riots in Minsk. That's gonna be a very interesting situation for all us.
Surprised she didn't defect to something like the States, but
Poland first. Well, it's partially part of defecting to the West, but
Yep.
Especially in reference to Belarus.
We also have Laurel Hubbard, the first transgender person to compete in the Olympics, failing to place in women's weightlifting.
Hubbard was like 43 and had a bunch of injuries. So
I'm not. There were a lot of people who are like, he's just he's a man. He just quit and he tanked just to just to because I don't know, but there's a.
I don't think he was even like that prolific of a weightlifter as a man, if I remember correctly.
I can't remember, but regardless, is like the fact that she's 43 and has several injuries. I mean, it should. Like, there's no wonder why she plays so poor early, and yeah, I get. But also, women's soccer, Canada.
Yep, Canada beats the U.S. in women's soccer in the semifinals, ending the hopes of the U.S. for gold again.
Oh, nice.
And honestly, as a Canadian, let's go.
And a lot of people are sort of like, wow, the U.S. Women's team hyped themselves up all of that, and then to think that they're all that in a bag of chips, and they really didn't do much.
Yeah, and plus it's only the only goal came from a penalty kick anyway, so
yeah,
this easily could have gone on to overtime or even penalties itself.
So I guess there are. So I guess they kept
Olympics and women.
Yep. So, we're going to our
Miscellaneous.
We're going to miscellaneous sports, and as you know, one of our podcast members,
One of our
Jesse
co-hosts,
Frazier,
Jesse Frazier, is a social media manager for the Cape Cod Baseball League, Orleans Firebirds. So we usually tend to give updates for them and everything.
And
plus their season's about to end anyway, right?
I think so. Hold on.
Because I know they played their last home game last night.
Right. And in which they are now 13 and 17 with a going 3-6-1 in their last 10, and with them losing to Harwich, Harwich 0-1, and then Chatham 3-2 and 3-5 in the past 3.
Yeah. So in terms of, we got USC 265 this weekend, and it doesn't really look like I'm really hyped up the card, if I'm being really honest. Like, because I was looking at the card days ahead of the what's it called, of the event. And really the only thing I could really get was Lewis versus Gain out of it as the main piece.
Yeah, I typically end up watching highlights of UFC fights, because is one, I don't want to I don't really have it in my budget to do pay-per-view for every single card.
Yeah.
But
we
and
can only do so much, Gus. We're college shows, or you can only do so much.
And also, if it's a bad fight, at least I don't have to sit through the entire thing.
Yeah. So we'll wrap up the show with some hot takes from the tree, where he can just choose any sport, any team to do hot takes on for as long as he likes. And I'm actually really intrigued to see what he chooses here.
Well,
hot takes. Floor is yours.
I'm going to say the New Orleans Saints. My hot take is they're going to absolutely tank the season. If you think about it, no quarterback. Michael Thomas is injured. Their front of the schedule is absolutely brutal. I mean, there's a chance they could start out like 1-4, 0-5.
Yep.
So I mean, your quarterback situation, Jameis Winston, he's always good for a turnover machine. You also have issues with like Taysom Hill. He's more of a specialist. So you're in deep shit, especially if you're the Saints. I would say, especially with the New York Giants, maybe that's either a watershed moment, either like the entire team's going to collapse or they rally and actually be okay. That's going to be your hot take right there. Hot take, I'm trying to think. Deshaun Watson, does he play a game in week 1? What do you think?
Ooh.
Of
Depending on, because I know, what's it called? They've been looking at offers on him for a trade, but I don't think there's been any suitors as of yet, or if there will be. But I don't think.
Well, they're demanding too much.
3 first-round picks for a guy that may or may not be suspended.
He might be suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're asking.
I feel
way,
the suspension
way
is
too
inevitable
much.
at this point.
I got a big hot take on baseball. I mean, in terms of like a bunch of people bitching about the Dodgers, the Yankees, they were getting all the players. Once again, there are no rules violating that. It sucks, but don't hate the player, hate the game. And honestly, baseball's got bigger issues right now, especially with a certain work stoppage that is more likely to happen than not next season.
And a certain pitcher for the Dodgers.
Trevor Bauer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still like trying to investigate that, so they've extended that delay a couple times now, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the latest extension is up till, but
Let me take a look.
if I'm not well, I can tell you he's probably gonna be out for the rest of the season. Like,
It's been extended through August 6th.
August 6th, so Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna get extended again. Watch. They're gonna extend it
Probably.
again,
They'll probably like push it back and forth. So
back and forth. And
Yeah.
this last one happened on July 27th. So
at this point, he's fucked.
maybe. I mean, we'll see how this goes how it is.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting situation to see like how that one actually turns up. Like, because like no one thought that anybody would be capable of hearing Trevor Bauer was doing some shit that he shouldn't be, but here we are. 2021 and everything's getting exposed left, right, and center.
Yep.
That's just the way the world works, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
No one's safe from anything anymore.
I think that's about it for me.
Yeah, I think that's it for me too.
I think that's it for me too. Thank you all very much for listening. Tree, do you want to? Do you have anything you want to plug? Maybe a freaking Raycon
Maybe a
spot.
certain coffee.
Oh,
Right,
yeah, you
that's-
should buy some bench warmer brew. I have an armchair quarterback blend, dark roast, really tasty. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I'm not a coffee guy myself, but it goes down very smooth, even black. So excellent stuff. It's craft brewed, or craft batches, so it's a craft coffee. So in that regard, it's very smooth and very rich. I would say you can follow me on YouTube on UrinatingTree, Twitter UrinatingTree, Instagram is urinating_tree, but I don't really do anything on there. But otherwise, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you so much
coming on,
for
Tree.
coming on, Trey.
Definitely, man.
And we'll see you all next week. Take care.
See you all next week.
Peace out.